What's cracking, trainers? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. In today's video, we got some games sent into the channel in the Great League with a really strong team by Captain Broken, and we did something a little different in this video today. Trainer sent only one set in. I usually do two, so what I did, I actually took a page out of Home Slice Henry's book, as I know he did something very similar to this on one of his videos recently, where I took the team and I played a set two just to see how it went. I actually did 4-1. It was a pretty decent set, so I wanted to show off both because it's a good way to see two different play styles of the team. We're going to get into the games here, but real quick, let's go over the team. We got a Dedenne on the lead, one of the strongest electric types, if not the strongest electric type in the meta, with that parabolic charge, guaranteed defense buff. One of the things I'm very surprised they decided not to nerf or adjust in any means with the new move updates. Another Pokemon here that I'm very surprised that dodged the move updates entirely was Credilli. If anything, it got buffed because of Rock Slide having more damage now. Acid on Credilli is something I've been playing in the Great League lately, and it's very strong. It's very, very flexible. And we have Annihilape, Shadow Annihilape on the back. I assume this is the safe swap. It's usually how it is when you have two shields. Shadow Annihilape just goes crazy. We're going to get into these games here. Let's check out Captain Broken piloting this team here in the Great League. First battle, we got the Denny on the lead versus your... That's not good. Getting straight into our own Credilli here. The opponent has the answer in Golisopod. So right off the bat, we are not looking too good, but a safe swap into Credilli here because you really, you want to save the Annihilape for the opponent's Credilli later in the game because it is just such a hard answer. The nice thing about this matchup is after you land a Rock Tomb, Credilli lives an X-Scissor here and can get to a second Rock Tomb. The opponent gave us a little bit of energy to start with, or they just want to shield and go for the full farm down here. But honestly, Dedenne happy enough to come in, but the opponent lets it go. They give up switch advantage, and brother, no, trainer. You're going to have a bad time. The Shadow uniform is on the wrong side, or the Rocket uniform is on the wrong side. Shadow Annihilape comes in and starts just pummeling this poor defenseless Credilli, and the opponent's not even swapping out. Trainer, what do you have back there that Annihilape is about to just rail into next week? Bro, it's a Talonflame. No, we're good. Talonflame comes in, but it's going to get hit by this parabolic charge, and Dedenne wins the cap tie. Charge attack priority. Going to go first with that parabolic charge. Opponent just faints on the spot, and we get to the play rough if the opponent doesn't throw. And either way, we have Annihilape with a shield to just completely decimate this poor little flower. Doesn't even knock out. Going for the play rough anyway. The attack drop doesn't matter. Is this play rough going to do it? Dedenne looking to fire off the game-winning charge move here. And play rough's just enough to go. Let's get it. Good game. Well played. Next game, oh brother, you couldn't ask for a better lead. You got Dedenne into Amandabuzz. The opponent brings in XehrFelrose. And not only do we have two really good answers to XehrFelrose in this team within Dedenne and Annihilape, but we can keep switch advantage with Dedenne on that Mandibuzz. And honestly, Credilli also does really well into the Mandibuzz. This team, incredibly flexible into what's in front of us. Obviously, yes, there will be some things this entire team will struggle with. I could see it sort of struggling with a Kanto Marowak potentially, or really any ground type with a strong answer to one of our safe switches in the back. You really just have to hope that two shields Shadow Annihilape can sweep a game for you at that point. Credilli also doing very well in this meta with that Rock Tomb. This thing is just going to go crazy. We're hard switching, and the opponent has the ground type. Oh no. Well, Credilli now just cleans this up. It was a good swap either way because Dedenne is just so healthy that it can do so much into anything that comes in at this point. Credilli is going to sit in the back and have those Rock Tombs loaded and ready to go by the time it needs them because it's got full HP and it's really not worried about that Mandibuzz whatsoever. The opponent's getting to the charge move first, so Dedenne has a choice to make shield or no. We're going to drop a shield here, going for that player of trying to get the opponent ever lower, letting them know that we need to get rid of this thing. The opponent decides not to shield. This is a really nice spot for the Annihilape. It could have come in punch down, but instead Trainer's going to be using it as a shield to block the Mud Bomb and look to try and finish this game off with a hefty farm down from this Credilli. This is going to be a sweep situation for this Credilli. Going for the Rock Tomb, can't quite reach it. The opponent's Mandibuzz reaches a charge attack first here. It's just going to be that Dark Pulse. It's not doing a whole lot. Credilli not having a bad time here, but we're going to go for the move right away. Would have gone for one Acid there just to make sure that we're able to get as much damage and energy in there before the opponent gets a free move. We're going to be swapping back into the Dedenne and catching the move on another shield. Oh my goodness, bro. That's just nasty. The opponent going to fully commit to a no charge. A full commit to a no charge. That's an interesting little, yes. In comes the Stun Fist. Gonna go for the Parabolic Charge anyway. This thing's low enough that this might even be enough to KO it. And Credilli's very happy to just sit back there with a shield. Opponent kind of knows it's over. We're going to go ahead and see the farm down here. Get a shield. You don't even need to shield this, to be honest. Opponent just going for the charge move here, hoping it does something. Mud Bomb's not going to be quite enough, though. They're going to go down to the acid. That's a good game, well played. All right, next game, rocking and rolling with a Jump Pluff lead. This is pretty decent because the opponent normally only has flying type moves, and Dedenne can pretty nicely wall this and get to a debuff before the opponent's Jump Pluff can get to the big move that would threaten any energy, like an energy ball would threaten any damage. This is going to be dangerous for this Jump Pluff because you're going to see in a game, I think it was at least one game, 2 games today that I played. One of them I think made it into the set that I did. Dedenne just goes and sweeps teams. If the opponent's weak to it at all, this thing just absolutely goes off. The opponent doing absolutely no damage here. They have to full send in acrobatics to even hope to do any meaningful damage, and they do. It doesn't even do 25%. Then in comes the Tentacruel. We're going to see those super effective poison-type fast moves hitting this Dedenne, but going for a parabolic charge to get the shield here. And there's not... Bro, no, they're not doing anything. The opponent gets to a charge move, but Dedenne gets to a second move even faster. Parabolic charge is going to take out almost all of the Tentacruel's HP here, and we can just shield this up and farm down. Scald not going to have any hope of really doing any damage to that shield. And Dedenne's boosted. The opponent comes in with a Greninja. Oh, I'm so sorry, trainer. You're in absolute shambles. This is one of the worst matchups you could have possibly hoped to see on the lead. My goodness, the opponent going for as much energy as they can, hoping to unleash some terror upon this Credilli. Going for the Hydro Cannon to try and do some chip damage, but Credilli puts down the shield. There's the 1 acid and the charge move. Very nice there to be able to get this Grass Knot off, get a little bit of extra damage and energy for the road. Grass Knot doing enough. The opponent not going to be able to get to another move. That Jump Pluff is in trouble. The whole opponent's team was core broken to bits. And that's a good game. Next game, a deceptively bad lead here. It's a dragon, yes, but it's on Shadow Claw, and Giratina has a pacing advantage here. And this is not good. You have to bluff if you want to be able to win this pacing war here, but Dedenne probably just goes for play off the opponent. Oh, man. What a catch. They catch the play rough, but Annihilape comes in here, and it's going to be able to load up on energy and take any one move from this Forretress and double Rage Fist against this Giratina. They can't get to the move that matters. The Giratina is going to have to come back in and take... No, the opponent brings in their Dedenne. And now it's going to be Credilli versus Giratina in the endgame. This is going to be tough. The opponent has to no shield this. This could be a problem as Oh, man. This could get out of hand very quickly. The opponent going to go for the charge move. Annihilape going to shield up and say, no, I'm going to go for the sweep here. You're going to give me that shield whether you like it or not. Opponent going to be going for it. No shields here. They have 2 shields. Giratina versus the world here. And opponent's going to be able to get to a charge move. I think they were very close, if not at one right there. Dragon Claw is going to be coming out very shortly here. Dragon type move going to do well into the Credilli as well. Having that neutral damage into this rock and grass typing. Dragon Claw chipping that shadow boost really coming in clutch here. The opponent is going to have to succumb to the Rock Tomb debuffs, but they get to 2 moves before we can get there. And that's going to make a difference. And the opponent still has a shield left. They have to shield this at some point, right? We have to. However, Giratina in a very awkward position here. It can live this Rock Tomb, not by much though, but can they KO now with the Dragon Claw? This is going to be a tough one. Dedenne needs to get to a charge move here as well. Has to be. No, we're saving the energy. Has to be the player off. The opponent can go for the Ancient Power, but is it going to be enough? Those Shadow Claws hurt, man. The opponent goes for the Ancient Power. It's not even close to enough. And Dedenne's reaching that play rough for the KO, the win, and the wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Good game. That was a tough one. That looked like it was going to be a tough one. Last game here. Oh, and we're picking up the wall. They're staying in, bro. No, trainer, what is happening? You're in shambles. You're leading Pidgeot, which is nothing but raw flying type, fast move, charge move, and anything else. And we have to stay in against the Dedenne. The opponent going to be full sending a Brave Bird. Yes, they are. That's going to do a lot of damage. So they're going to stay in. Going for it on 2. Unfortunately, one too many. One too many wanted to go for it on odds there to let the opponent not be able to get the move unless they knew they weren't going to shield. And that was a good play because the opponent's Pidgeot definitely did not shield. And then you didn't have to take the gust damage. But either way, we have a Bastion in front of us, trainers. And Captain Broken knows it. sends in the Credilli, knowing that the only place that Annihilape needs to go is up a shield into that Bastiodon, and this is what we came to see. This is what we needed right here. The opponent thinking they have a shot. Bastiodon in the back with a shield, hopefully going to be able to use its bulk to win against surely whatever's in the back here. But Annihilape comes in and is about to assert absolute dominance. The opponent comes in with that Bastiodon, hoping to catch an energy move or something, but they catch these hands and trainers. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Very nice little set there. I love this team. We're going to give it a shot now. I'm going to go ahead and throw over my battles. Just be back in 1 second. All right, trainers, nice little jump cut there. We got the IVs of my Pokemon up on the screen. Very nice showcase here by Captain Broken. Thank you again, trainer, for sending in the battles. Trainers, if you'd like to send in battles, if you're on the channel for Shoutcasting, there's a Google form in the description that you can fill out, send in the battles on the Google Drive link, and we'll get them on the channel if we can. Getting into the games here, we got our first match of the set, Dedenne and Greninja, and I'm loving life right now, man. This whole team does really well in the Greninja. Opponent comes in with a Typhlosion, and at this point, I want to stop real quick because I want to explain this thought process. Because, yes, I have a Rock type in the back with Credilli, and Annihilape really doesn't want to be up against us because his Incinerates are going to hurt. My thinking is because the opponent switched, I'm always going to be a turn ahead. I can go for the Thunder Shock and a Parabolic Charge, and I can simply win every even shielding matchup against this thing, and I can force the shield first as well, because I get to my first move right as they're going to get to the Thunder Punch, and they have to go to 3 Incinerates in order to threaten any damage. So I stay in with Dedenne here. I'm going to be looking to fire off the Parabolic Charge, going for that damage. The opponent shields it up. They want switch advantage. They don't want this Dedenne to be around. They must be scared of it. Opponent now has us within 2 Thunder Shocks of the next move. They're going for the Thunder Punch, but it's okay. I'm shielding it anyway because my idea here is, even though I'm going to get shields down, hopefully, Credilli against Greninja is always good, and Annihilape does not get one shot by the Hydro Cannon, so we can always at least bring it in for some damage with those counters, which are going to absolutely rail that poor little frog. Going to be going for 2, and then the move here. This Parabolic Charge is going to be enough from this range to take out the opponent's Typhlosion, and we get switch advantage. What are they going to bring in? Of course, they're going to bring in the Kanto Marowak that they have in the back, so now I'm forced, actually, to bring in my Credilli. What I should have probably done here, in hindsight, I could have come in with my Annihilape, and I probably could have saved Credilli for later. A little bit of hindsight, trying to see how I could improve my own gameplay. I'm not perfect, and I know I'm not. Always looking for ways to do better, and the opponent go ahead and throw a move on bad timing just to be able to get the damage in, which is a really good play here. Going to go for the Bone Club, and I'm going to throw this Grass Knot. Now, unfortunately for me, Credilli's extremely low, and this is not how I wanted this game to go, but the opponent's going to go get taken out here. And now I need to be able to get to a move, but oh no. The opponent is going to be able to get to a charge move. And in the moment, I didn't know if this KO'd or not. I find out later that it doesn't. We do narrowly live this, and we do get to the Rage Fist. That's going to be enough damage from this very frail pair of Pokemon here. Their defenses are not so great, so Greninja's going to go down even though it's resisted. This is going to be a good game. Well played. All right, getting into the next game. Dedenne on the lead. Thunder Shock into that Lapras. You love to see it. This is a fantastic matchup. If the opponent stays in, which they are core broken by Dedenne trainers. I'm telling you, sometimes the opponent's got the answers for Dedenne, but when they don't, oh my goodness, this thing just goes off. Now, I will be completely transparent with y'all. I went 1-4 before I went on this 4-1. And the reason why I don't have that 1-4 in this video is because it was largely just team comp based. I didn't really have a chance to show the team off in a way that would have actually benefited anybody, because I was just like Annihilape on Credilli almost like some form almost every game. It was like, what do you do? But we were able to come back on a nice 4-1, get back up to a decent elo, getting close to Legend, about 90 or 150 points off. That's not even close to 90. About 2850 elo after the set, so it's not so bad. The opponent, ABA, bro, ABA Water is a wild choice. Dedenne says, come here, you. We're going to solo this team if we can help it. Dedenne looking to apply the pressure, the Parabolic Charge, and the opponent's got a Moltres in the back. Oh, yeah, they were that weak. They were that weak to Dedenne. We have the Credilli here to go for this Rock Tomb. I'm always shielding this first move if I need to, but the opponent did not threaten a Brave Bird, so I know that I can save the shield now for the Annihilape. Had they threatened the Brave Bird, I could have shielded that, and it would have been the right time to do so. So just, you know, if you're in the opponent's side there, at least build it to the Brave Bird. You will get more guaranteed, not guaranteed, but you're more likely to get a shield that way. As soon as I get the shield off the opponent, I know that I have a shield left. I can just get to an Ice Punch here and outpace the opponent to this move here before they can get to another one, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. Ice Punch, Annihilape putting in some work here against the big Dark Flying Bird and Moltres. And also, shout out to Beelzeboy for winning Worlds with his Moltres. That was masterclass level play. Pato Man also well-deserved. I'm going to be sad when this background goes away, man. Oh, this is the game. I think this is the game we lost here. So, first game here, we're up against a really nasty core breaker. There's not really anywhere on the team for me to put, like, this thing does not, like, everything on the team is just not good. My saving grace here is that the opponent actually no-shielded that move, and I make a huge misplay here by bringing in my Annihilape. I severely underestimated, or overestimated the amount of damage that my counters would do, and they're going to be able to get a free move off of me here, and that means that they're going to get both shields, and now I'm sitting here with a Blastoise, trying my best to see if I can come back from this shield deficit that I've given myself. Opponent going to take the Rage Fist here, and I'm going to be looking to apply some counter damage. I'm thinking about maybe trying to farm down, going for the move at the last second if I can, but the opponent throws first. And I'm going to be forced to take a very hefty Hydro Cannon here, but that means I can farm down, hopefully. The opponent get into a move at the last second, and unfortunately, that 1 HP is going to cost me. They do survive, get the Hydro Cannon off. They still have 2 shields, and now I just got to hope that Credilli can sweep this team with Dedenne on its side. Down 2 shields. Opponent, what are they going to bring in here? They bring in a Greninja, and I have hope again. Can we pull it off? Probably not, man. Gligar's in the back. I got to keep that in mind. I'm basically trying to see if I can use Dedenne to win this game. We're going to be going for the Rock Tomb here. The opponent did get a move off already, so unfortunately, we aren't able to reduce the damage with this debuff before they deal any damage. I'm kind of expecting them to try and make a catch, swap out, clear this debuff, and so I catch a move of my own here, and we're going to be going... And I was hoping they would like go for a Night Slash or something, but there's no way they ever would. Going to be going for the extra move here. Again, I should have just thrown the Parabolic, got the shield. Then the opponent hopefully isn't going to be able to get to a move here, but we are going to try at least not to get caught on. The opponent going to be going down to this move. And Rock Tomb gets the shield if they don't shield, but of course they're going to shield, and I'm hoping I could get to a move here. Can I get there? Opponent needs a move. They have a move, and I'm not able to. One fast move, man. Opponent almost let me have it, but they had to move on the Greninja, unfortunately. I probably could have found a way to win that, but that was a good game, well played. I know I misplayed that. The moment the Annihilate came in was when I lost that game. There was probably a win condition there. So it's trainers, this is one of the things I do, is when we do these videos, not only, and when I'm looking at my gameplay, not only am I trying to like share this team with you and my thought processes, but also use the time to review my own gameplay and improve myself, because we all should. We all should, honestly. Rock Tomb going to be thrown here, but the opponent's debuffed already. I have to call this as a Brave Bird. I'm going to go ahead and call it just in case, because Credilli could be worth it here. The opponent full sends that Brave Bird. We're going to go for the Rock Tomb, trying to knock him out. The opponent shielding twice here, wanting to get to another move. Am I going to give it to him? I kind of have to shield here. But the opponent going for the charge move. This could just be a fly if they want a full send here. They go for the Brave Bird instead. That could have been a fly. The opponent brings in a Dugong, and this is really nice for Annihilape. I could have gone for the Rock Tomb. I wasn't really, I was just like, oh, first move I see. But we're going to be able to get nearly to a farm down. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Rage Fist at the last second here, as my brain is beginning to fall into shambles at the end of this video. Can't keep my thoughts straight, man. It's all good. We get the win against the Dugong by going for the charge move right as we get there, as they do, and we're going to go ahead and see them concede the game. Well played. All right. Get us together, XehrFelrose. One more game. Here we go. We're going to get the Dedenne in the lead into a Talonflame. Shadow Talonflame. Those Incinerates are going to hurt, but at least I have a good lead here. I'm expecting the opponent to swap out, and they don't. They're staying in. Another trainer that could be completely in shambles because of the Talonflame. I'm going to go for the Parabolic Charge. I'm going to start boosting my defense. I'm still, no matter what, I'm matching shields here, because if the opponent's staying in, they're weak in the back. I'm expecting there to be some sort of water type in the back, or maybe a dark type, which means that one of these two Pokemon that I have in the back are going to do well into the end game, hopefully. So I'm going to try to go for alignment here. The opponent going to second shield here, and they're going to throw right away. I'm 2 away from the move. If I live this Incinerate, which I should, even though my defense is going up, so is their attack. The Flame Charge gets my final shield, and I'm going to go for 4 of these Thunder Shocks just to be able to go for as much as I can before I take that next Incinerate, because I was going to take the Incinerate anyway. Left myself at 1 HP. Opponent comes in with a Feraligatr. We have the Credilli here, but unfortunately they're a Shadow Claw ahead, and I have to land this Grass Knot, but am I going to be able to? Opponent going to go for the Ice Beam, and I get 1 turn bring in, and that's unfortunate. I don't get an extra move. I don't know what's going to help. I'm trying not to get caught on. I stop, I pause the turn, and I wait to see if it happens, but unfortunately the game also stops responding, as it's so good at doing. And I'm going to try and swap to catch the Parabolic Charge on my Annihilape. At this point, I just need to land this Grass Knot into the Feraligatr, and I'm going to try my best to use my counter damage to get this as low as I possibly can. See if I can get it into a range where Acid can farm down, because Cordelia is not worried about those Thunder Shocks. It just needs to be able to farm down here. Going to be going for the Acids here, looking to get the farm down. Exactly 5 to be able to get the farm down, and we're going to be able to catch that Grass Knot. This Feraligatr not looking so good anymore, and now with that Ice Beam, we are going to get our revenge, going for the KO with the Grass Knot. And that's a good game. Overall, really fun team. It's a good team. Like, 2 Shield Shadow Annihilape is just an absolute menace. And the Dedenne is, when unchecked, just an absolute fiend. This thing is ridiculous, and I'm so surprised that these Pokemon completely dodged the move updates. Let me know in the comments if you tried this team, how it goes for you. Hopefully it helps you get a little bit of elo today. Thank you as always for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.